I am in Shanghai, major city of China, where the Expo 2010 being held. This is the world's largest expo. I doubt whether something of this magnanimity can be held in the West. This is a showcase of my city, my living. The thing about Chinese is their discipline. This is about 6 o'clock. You can see the people taking a walk and jogging in the sports field, in the running track. This is what has made them achieve certain things, the degree of discipline. I see from taxi driver to other people, especially some of the volunteers, did not visit the expo. They could tell me little due to language problem, and yet they tried their best to help. That is something to be admired in these people. After a while there will be Tai Chi, or they've already finished. Even their dietary habits, I visited the supermarket. I don't see pre-prepared packaged foods. They tend to buy fresh each morning and plan the cooking for that day, come back to the supermarket or to their market again, eating fresh food as recommended in Ayurveda. Even modern science has proven keeping the food for a while, the nutrition value deteriorates. From main entrance of Shanghai Expo 210, there's a large number of people, huge number of buses. And what you are seeing on my right hand side is the China pavilion, and that is the entrance. There are too many buses obstructing me. I want to climb up on the wall, but the police won't let me. One can see the crowd and the buses and the people, and it started drizzling. See the flags of various nations next to the China pavilion. One can see the humongous size of this entrance and the people. That's on the right side again, the China pavilion and the people. See the lines. Did I wait in this line? No. I told the cop that I am from America. He just let me go through the staff entry. I went through one of these to see what happens. More people. Flags of all nations. They never let any nation not participate. I don't know whether some were subsidized, but the fact is every nation is here, immaterial of the size and the location. So I am inside of the elevated walkway. I am just taking a maybe 300-degree view. This is the China pavilion. You can see the crowd, you can see the decor and the plants and of course the people. Welcome to China, Chinese Provincial Pavilion. Entrance to China Pavilion, the host country pavilion is the most popular in this populous country. They all want to see their achievement. So do I. Am I the only foreigner so far? Everything is in Chinese. It doesn't look like that they made it for foreigners, except the signs in English. Even I can't get a guide who speaks English. I had one person just explain to me in this China provisional pavilion. To see the China federal pavilion, I have to get a pass from the security. I'll try tomorrow. This is the Ganju pavilion. They created the Buddha image. Very well done. This is like a Sarkarama. I can't even go inside because there are so many people. This is a beauty from Chingchang. She was one of the receptionists. She let me videotape her. Background is the ethnic group. One of them almost looks like a Mysore peta. It's a 90-minute wait. People are seated to view one of the things. Look at this photograph, taking rotating. View after. This is the Shanghai province. That's why the crowd. Nice to get a chair and sit comfortably while waiting. Tibetan pavilion. Of course, there are to be Buddha and Tibetan pavilion. And look at what they have built. Just to show what these people can achieve. Just for an exhibit. And the workmanship of the Tibet architecture and carpentry. Not to mention about the interior, but unfortunately ruined by this the water and soda. This is Shanghai, the ancient king of one of the dynasties. Same Shanghai, modern girl. Shanghai is the panda place. Look at the ice. This is Ningxia at the entrance. I saw plenty of plastic fruits. Hainan is like Hawaii. Mangoes is for the missing tourists on this trip, the Mysorean. There is also lychee here. Ginzu Pavilion. They have an impressive waterfall on the wooden pagoda. Pavilion. This is Qingqing. I am planning on going there. But there are the recent heavy flooding in the streets. I just have to see.
镶嵌而成的，真的应该啊？
你带了几个？
我这个没有，真的假的？
你这个算什么？
我这个是状子的，就是北海珍珠。
Sri Lankan Pavilion, where I am looking forward for Poruppu curry with rice. or Puttu roti in the Sri Lanka Pavilion restaurant. After samosa, puttu and rice, I see this restaurant and figured out one can eat Indian food with chopstick. Here is an evidence. A lot of Chinese are doing that. The staff has been very helpful, even carrying the trays for some people to their table.
拉出场中的蒋月文小朋友，
Hot,
蒋月文小朋友，
humid and
您
raining.
的家人张
This is
小
India
哥
Pavilion.
正在斯里兰
I'm
卡广
surprised why the Chinese put it during the summer
来自宁波
with
的
the
温
monsoon
俊小
rain.
朋友，
Should have been more
温
of
俊
a
小朋友，
winter stuff.
您的家人
Criticism that Indian press considered India Pavilion is not good, but this is the only one where there are fans for the people to walk when it is hot and humid. No one else had this provision. Out trying to enter India Pavilion. Rain, hot and humid. Indian Pavilion had a canopy for the rain all through. Most others did not have it. I don't know why Indian press has to criticize without studying more thoroughly.
孩子20
Everywhere
块
is
钱，
plastic, only in
赚钱都不
the
会赚
Indian，
人家印度
pavilion
人都会赚钱。
I see the greenery from roof to the bottom. Chairs are more permanent from 5 hydrant
喂，
steel doors. Baby and the grandma are very happy staying in the line. Indian pavilion is built with a biodisposable or biodegradable material from grass, terracotta, plants and even a bamboo. Of course that is a steel base. The terracotta decorations in the wall are depicting the history. Indian pavilion has a gate that gets closed and they're letting a certain number of people to enter to control the crowd. I almost waited 1.5 hours, very much longer than any other pavilion that I visited so far. This is seems very popular pavilion by Chinese. I saw only one other Indian and no other foreigner in the crowd. From the roof it is plants and on the ground it is plants. It's very biodegradable pavilion so far. The Indian pavilion, the food is much cheaper for the variety that they are offering. The tandoori roti. One can see the tandoor in front and so many chefs being busy. Popular one is the mango lassi. Everybody wants to drink that. It's going fast. From outside it is the stupa. From inside it is an exhibit hall and a stage, center stage for performance. And it's a laser show. I don't know whether it will film or not. The acoustics are bad, I can't hear properly. Side, on one side is the science and information technology, history, Ayurveda, etc. And on the other side, artistic pieces. I think they've done a good job. Indian musicians and musical instruments. When people are waiting for the laser show, there is TV showing other things. I fail to understand why this is criticized by the Indian press. In fact, this is one of the better pavilions for the size and the shape. Much more information is distributed and educated. This is the China theme pavilion. They ask, when did you or your ancestor came to the city? Are you satisfied with the quality of life in the city you live? What is a city but the people, said William Shakespeare. Here they follow 6 families living in different cities. The healthy living environment, satisfying work, learning and developing opportunities, medical care, reliable social contacts and facilities of pleasure, etc. This is a magnanimous China pavilion. One can see the architecture of a narrow beam expanding, and as one sees, you can see the size of these beams. Architecturally very impressive. They permit only 35,000 people per day. I was lucky to get in as I got through senior disability gate. Ask me how I did it. On the opposite side is this funny looking modern art. It's a cloudy day today. It rained early morning, and the Chinese seem to have a steel legs with missing persons meeting place with a volunteer. You can see this can happen in over a billion population. Looks like half of them are at the expo. Have you ever seen a ceiling TV? I can put art pieces in my home. This is like a moving object on a screen. It's outdated, rather antique, amazingly done on one end to the other. I've not seen anything like this before. Super rice, simple and plain, which feeds a vast population, lays ground for a time-honored agrarian civilization and nourishes a national culture that is uniquely fascinating. Green and vigorous, it takes a root deeply in the earth, embodies value and emphasizes the earning to rural-urban harmony. The footprints is a theme with several art displayed. These are children's. This one is done by a 7-year-old Chinese kid. From the top of China National Pavilion, this is the view of the Expo pathway, and one can see the impressive appearance of the architecture. This vase-like one is impressive. I'm sure there's a water drainage because of this rainy season now. At the distance is the skyscraper. Shanghai is probably the model city as a showpiece. In a similar way, from the top, one can see the people who appear Lilliputian. Another view of the expo grounds from the top of the China National Pavilion. All through there's a large number of these beautiful paintings done by children, displays all over. This is another monorail-like thing to go through. don't know what this means. I'm just filming. Sitting in this monorail. Another view through one of those glasses. I can see the India pavilion now. As the rain, natural lotus. One of the sensible things is the measured consumption of energy. All done. Going to the ground floor. View from the top. Another view. Many condominium buildings. Almost everybody lives in a condominium in Shanghai. Pakistan pavilion. Nepal pavilion. Inside Pakistan pavilion there are 35 Pakistanis here. I spoke to one guy who is from Sindh province, spoke clear English. Everybody likes laser show. I'm sure they're using Mohenjo-daro as if it is their ancient civilization, borrowed and stolen actually. That is the brickwork of Mohenjo-daro. Some of the ornaments from there. Everything is shown as if it is a very ancient country. Even Takshila is shown. So all of the Hindu civilization falls. They would have been more honest had they shown from 1947 onwards. Nothing before. Or give the credit to the ancient Hindu civilization. Even the Buddhist site in a country founded on Islam. Why this hypocrisy? Including tourist promotion, Discover Pakistan, 5,000 years of Indus Valley civilization. Really? Even Taxila is there. Impressive. Even Mangifera Indica is there. Pakistan-China friendship, their PR is far better compared to India. Pakistan's contribution to world peace, impressive. Entering Nepali pavilion. Nepal pavilion. quadrangle with Bodhinath Stupa. Of course, it's a model. Pabastu Sabha Mangalam. Korea Pavilion, they're banging with the drums at the entrance. I am on this ferry that goes in this, I would call it Shanghai River, specially meant for the expo to cross the river. Today is very cloudy, so photography looks kind of hazy. On the other side, there are some companies who has their pavilion. It's ready to roll. Place is crowded. That's how this ferry is going to look like. You can see the people crowded. View from the river. So ferry trip is coming almost to an end. This is the front of the Expo 210 Shanghai China. That is how the people are running to get in. It's an ocean of Homo sapiens. Young and old. Japan Pavilion. Lots of people waiting. This is probably the longest line I have ever seen. Next to that is the Korea. I couldn't film inside the Japan. It took me 3.25 hours just to get in because long line was worth it. I saw a robot playing violin with fine finger movements. Technology far advanced of the battery operated car and almost like a wheelchair but with personal navigation that can go fast and of a much smaller size. And the purification of sewage water that is drinkable with removing organic matter through microorganisms and then a filter. The whole visit to Japan Pavilion was worth it. It's amazingly well done, showing what the future cities and city life will be. This is Uzbekistan Pavilion, one of the Central Asian countries. Wherever there is a long wait, it must be good. Japan being the longest, and the shortest one I saw was in the Myanmar. It is just a commercial product, and the Laos. So no crowd was here. A baby sleeping while waiting, and the mother is fanning. Uzbekistan is located west of China and north west of India. At one time there was a Buddhism, currently it's an Islamic country. A former part of Soviet Union, the capital being Samarkand. The pavilion is well made, as one can see the sky as if there are stars, and one can see the Islamic architecture model. Traditional dresses seem to be like this. I'm in Mongolian pavilion, the nation whose emperors invaded China, making them build the Great Wall, invaded India, they established the Mughal kingdom. Mongol world was then became the Mughal. They were ruthless killers. And Genghis Khan, 1162 to 1217, was a great warrior. And today it is a Buddhist country, and I was surprised, and I bought a pair of slippers for the Indian type of dress, that is one of the softest. How a country has changed over a period of time. Bangla pavilion. See what's going on in Bangla pavilion, Mehndi. Assalamu alaikum. Only way I can visit North Korea is through its pavilion. That's it. Today is my day 4. I am at the Thai pavilion. This is an entrance and a panoramic view from the entrance to Thai. The beauty of the entrance of the Thai pavilion is this mural that they painted on the wall. Some as close as this. Robot.
自古以来，中国与泰国的重要人物一直互相进行国事化。
上出去了以后呢，往右边走，我们还有泰国纪念品店以及泰式餐厅，为大家提供服务，为大家提供服务。
Philippines Pavilion. In the expo, with the theme of better city, better life, coconut water is being sold under the Coca-Cola umbrella, which is the right thing to do. Malaysian pavilion is very colorful. New Zealand, there seem to be a lot of plants, including on the rooftop. Because it is so hot, they made the mist spray under the almost the street. The whole area is cooler. When will the West think of this event? Such as the Disney theme park. The New Zealanders ask, what is better life? We will see. With these modern buildings, or a dependent man, or a nice kitchen, or a mutton biryani, a restored antique car, or a glass of wine, a nice piece of cake, or living in the rooftop woods. Think about it. What do you want in life and what is better for you? Nice view of the Cambodia pavilion from the rooftop of New Zealand. Like a forest, of an early era. A show of rooftop vegetable garden. Is this real or plastic? Guess if you don't ask me. Kingdom of Cambodia Pavilion. Indonesia Pavilion with some Chinese chimney. Wayang with the Indonesian puppetry based on Ramayana and Mahabharata. It may take 1 month to produce each one of these, and it's played by Dalang, the master puppeteer, with the movement of the arms. The images fall like a black shadow on a white screen. The puppeteer seated behind the screen manipulate in this following way, as shown. From the top of the Singapore Pavilion, here is a view with a nice view of the bridge. Oh, the dark, ugly looking thing. When every nation is trying to show for a better city, better life, here is the energy inefficient, heat absorbing, windowless pavilion. Nice and cool Singapore rooftop garden. With a mist around and a soft music. With the orchids everywhere and the mist to counteract the summer heat of Shanghai. Only Singapore showed there. Yes, wait. Coming down was 11 floors, coming down steps and no elevator, only Chinese painting. No wonder no Westerners are here. This is urban best practice area. Several cities in the world show how the future urban living will be. As here, that is not a coal chimney, it could have been. Today it's a giant thermometer that shows what the temperature is. Currently it is 25 degrees Celsius. Welcome to the city of Seoul Pavilion at the urban best practices area, and what I see is somebody sleeping. That's the best urban practice. This creates a portrait. That is the final product. So far I have not been able to understand what they are trying to tell of the urban better living, because nobody seems to understand what to express due to lack of understanding of what the future urban is going to be. And what I see is a highly varied expression. Some of it does not seem to keeping with the theme or making any sense. At least Japan trying to show the future, more of a showing what they will be capable of in technology. While in India, the exterior was fantastic, of a highly energy efficient, but the interior was a disaster. Some of these are just a kids' play. Is it what the urban is supposed to be in the future? This is one example of what the say Cage Giant Pavilion 3-1, Alexandria case, Trajan case and Cairo case. At least with the higher mood I can think they could have shown how the urban developed, what are the positive things and what are the negative things from which they can learn and improve for the future. But I don't see that being shown anywhere. Just a bunch of some architectural imitations, nothing beyond that. Chinese try to show humming model town, same line, different lifestyle. They try to show some model way. I know it's going to work out now. All there is the housing with the huge urban background. Rotterdam and San Paulo case. Pavilion of the future. Utopias and experimental ideas of cities. This includes urban planning, harmonious growth, basic needs, nature, housing, beauty, sustainability, opportunities, networking. But what about jobs to get some money to make a living and eat and have housing? Never mentioned about the food and the sickness care and maintaining health. And what about garbage management or waste management? And energy, water, and what else? Screen is from ceiling to the floor. Now in color. The GM Pavilion. Global petroleum reserves will be depleted in 40 years. Since when is not mentioned, and the future of GM is also not mentioned. Will GM still be there? GM says so 50% of the cars will be on electricity. And where is electricity going to come from? Still many come from crude oil. Even at the GM Pavilion, there's a long wait. I managed to get in with the age factor. It took a little bargaining, then they let me go. One volunteer said the age factor in China is 75 years to be considered a senior. If the cities become free from congestion through intelligent transportation system, GM, what are you talking? Are you going to start making cars and make buses only? USA Pavilion. The waiting period in these lines is about 3 hours. I don't know why. Today I got in early. I had a ace bandage pass. The USA PR was good with the started yesterday, Hillary Clinton welcoming of a show with a wide screen, followed concluding by the President Obama, and using the children and grown-ups of Chinese American and some African Americans as the subjects. And overall their PR seemed to be done well with 2 shows and some shops sponsored by many companies. Miserable Pepsi has made its little presence only in the USA pavilion. Guyana is located in South America, north of Brazil, east of Venezuela, and west of Suriname. The first Indian immigrants came as indented laborers from Chota, Nagpur, Burdwan, Bangturas, Madras and Kolkata. 2 vessels carried them in 1838 and 14 immigrants came, and the second one 249. This is how they look, working in the sugarcane fields and as laborers. So there are also Chinese, Portuguese, Africans and the Europeans living in this country. Today, this is how Indians look. Chadi Bhagat Jagan was president from 1992 to 1997. Possibly his wife was from 1997 to 1999. President is Bharat Jagdo. Even Haiti is here. Of course, many of these countries are subsidized. I found out from the Jamaican staff, without which they could not have come. And thus, China made a diplomatic relationship with every country on earth. Switzerland cannot be compared. It's a tiny little place, landlocked, and its neutrality has no value. It is like a small ant that can't even bite. Whereas this elephant, China has made an impressive diplomatic impact, and also by having all these people here, their people could learn a lot of things that will be implemented in the due course. He spent over 30 billion, probably was an investment rather than an expenditure. The Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, which I will be visiting next month. This is their costume of their person of Maldives. One can see the richness of their costume. Deepavali in Trinidad, of course also Maldives. I just got out of the Japan Industry Pavilion. This is the robot climbing the construction, whatever that is called. The main Japanese pavilion, the narration was in Chinese with a subtitle in English, Chinese and Japanese. Even in this industry pavilion, narration was in Chinese with a subtitle in English. an afterthought about the United States Pavilion. While the PR looked good, then now I realized that the welcome speech by the Secretary of State and the concluding speech by the President was in English with no translation whatsoever, and none of the Chinese understood whatever they said. This appears to be a total failure of realizing who their audience were. All said and done, some of the West failed to realize, especially the US, of their audience, and they just insist on their own as their products are being marketed with no adaptation to the country where they want to market it. This is from politics to products. Day 7. I got so exhausted of the last 6 days walking the hot, humid, rainy weather with a little calcarine spur on the left foot, having some difficulty walking and not wanting to stand in the long line, playing some games to get in. Today I decided to skip, as I have seen the pavilion that I wanted to see, even though it's impossible to see every one of them, nor I have any interest in it. Overall, this is huge, huge, huge. I don't even know how many acres of land they used. I did not come across any published data. It's a major diplomatic achievement for the country, as they invited every nation in the world and also exposing their own people to different cultures and technology. They will harvest the benefit of it. Just to give a bird's eye view, the area is divided into several zones, and then each zone can be seen with the river around in this way. So now this is the end.